If you watch this video from start to finish, you're going to be able to pick up a tarot card deck. I guarantee, draw any card and be able to read it for yourself or for another person. But before we begin this comprehensive but concise course on tarot, a couple things that this video is not. I feel like the Learn Tarot videos that are just someone pulling a card and reading you the definition and going on to the next card are good, but they don't teach you anything. It's like reading a book out loud in another language and not teaching somebody grammar or not teaching somebody how to actually speak the language. I do have a video where I do go over every card and its definition, and you could use that as reference. It'll be in the description box below. This video is going to go over how to actually read tarot. If you feel confused or if you feel like the definitions are just not enough, I'm going to go over everything that you need. So let's get started. When it comes to tarot card decks, you may have just been gifted one, you may have just bought one, you may have had one lying around collecting dust, or maybe you're just interested in tarot and don't even have one yet. First, it's okay to buy yourself a deck. Don't believe that wives' tale that you can't gift yourself a deck. Buy a deck that you kind of click with. One thing that you should know about tarot card decks is basically that there's a very standard version of the tarot deck, and it's called the Rider-Waite style deck. Saving you a history lesson, which you can look up if you're interested in it, is that this deck is rich with symbology. It's rich with depictions that help the tarot reader decode and understand the messages that are coming through. The deck that you see here is the most common that you're going to see here on YouTube with tarot readers, as well as maybe if you have a tarot reader friend or go to a tarot reader in real life. And it's all based on this Rider-Waite symbolism and imagery. It really is packed with so many things that can help you understand what the reading is about and where to take the reading. Most decks that you'll be able to buy or that you'll be able to see in the store are based off of this, just in different variations. The different art and the different ways that artists might convey some of these standard images will kind of change the energy of how you read the card and how you see the card. For example, take a look at the card strength. Because this is the standard Rider-Waite style deck, this is going to be the most standard image of the strength card that you will see in tarot. But if you look at variations in decks, you're going to see strength depicted in very different ways. Typically share this commonality of being based here in the Rider-Waite. My only advice to you, if and when you're choosing a deck, is to get one with imagery that you resonate with and that would be based in Rider-Waite style imagery so you can keep up with what I'm about to teach you. A standard tarot card deck has 78 cards total, and this can be split into different subcategories. The two most major categories that you can split the tarot deck into are two: the major arcana and the minor arcana. As you can see, there are a lot more minor arcana in the tarot than there are major arcana. The major arcana are important because they're major, which means that when these guys come up in a reading, these represent major life events. You can see an example of some of the major arcana here. If you really want to get into deck DNA, major, minor, cups, pentacles, wands, stuff like that, I have an entire video in this masterclass, which is not locked to members or anything. It's linked in the description box below, where I really give you a breakdown of the deck. Here, I'm showing you only what is necessary for you to be able to pick up that deck and read any card. The deeper you want to dive, the more videos I got for you. Anyways, these are the major arcana, okay? They don't belong to a suit. None of these guys belong to wands or pentacles or swords or anything like that. When these come up in a reading, and there's the rest here, it's going to show you a major life event, something really big happening that you likely cannot change, or that is likely going to provide a huge change for you. Now, this is in contrast to the minor arcana cards, because the minor arcana cards are going to show you your daily life, your daily activities. These are things that you can pretty much easily change. These are things that are not going to have such a big effect on your life. It's just showing you daily occurrences, all the kinds of stuff that you would do from waking to going back to bed in your daily life. Love, relationships, finances, money, health, thought, documents, all this stuff is shown in the minor arcana. It's our daily life on earth, our emotions, our feelings, everything that it encompasses here. And that really is the bulk of the deck. You will get more minor arcana because most of us are going through, daily earthling struggles here when we're getting read for. And again, when these major arcana pop up, it's showing you those really big life events, especially when reading for the future. If you get a lot of major arcana cards, that's showing you a life path type situation that is not likely to change based on action. Where if you get a lot of minor arcana, then maybe these things are going to be easier for you to change going into the future. So with that being said, before I show you the art of reading the card, shuffling, drawing, and intuitively understanding what it means, I want you to look at tarot in this way, that the tarot are constructed to be a tool for advice and for healing. Now you can go about tarot in different ways than that. You can go about tarot with different viewpoints. But I guarantee you that if you don't look at tarot as a tool for healing, or you don't look at tarot as a tool for advice, you're not going to be as good of a reader, because these cards are designed to lift you spiritually, to raise your vibration, to show you the way. At first, you'll probably read for yourself, and this is going to help you through difficult situations, help you gain more insight into who you are and where you are and what you are and where you're going, and it's going to help you improve as a person. As you go through your life struggles, as you go through your hardships, then the more that you overcome, the better you will be at using the tarot as a tool for advice and healing others. It starts with you, and then you pass it on to other people. When looking at the future, when looking at the past, when looking at the present with tarot, it's always from the viewpoint of, how can I help? It's not simply showing somebody. It's not simply showing yourself what's there. It's understanding what's there and why it's there, and understanding how to change what needs to be changed, so whatever's there can be the best that it should be for you, for your life, or for that person in their life. Tarot is not about relaying the easiest messages sometimes, but as long as it's from the energy of a healer, of moving towards something better, your messages will always be clear, and you will always give a great reading. Let's read tarot. Let me show you how to do it. All the important stuff is out of the way. Any topic that you want to find out more about that I just covered, I got you covered in an extensive video for that. Check the description box below, my friend. Let's go into what this video is about. Pick up your tarot card deck. Now, I like to shotgun shuffle, and this is a shotgun shuffle. Yes, I did have to practice. I wasn't always just shotgun shuffling, right? And I feel like that kind of, what this is doing, it's mixing up the cards, and it's mixing up the energy. The tarot deck is going to connect to the energies around you or the situation. It's good to clear your mind, okay? Shuffle the cards just like this, Just clear your mind, shuffle the cards, get that energy mixed up. It's kind of like stretching your muscles before a run, right? You're just getting everything nice and shuffled. Now, I want you to think of a question, or have your person think of a question. Tarot's not going to answer yes or no. I don't believe that yes or no stuff with tarot. Good advice, good healing advice is not yes or no. Yes or no is telling somebody exactly what to do. Tarot's going to leave it up to you to do that. So instead of asking if they will yes or no, will I yes or no, ask how can I? Ask what is best. Ask to show me the way. So think about it. Take that deep breath. Get that good question in your mind. You don't need a spread. You don't need some elaborate spread. You can use them, they're cool. But if you're, using tarot like this, you don't need no spread. Just wait. And all of a sudden, ask for the moment to feel right. Use your hand. Get in touch with the hand that you're using to touch the cards. Right? feel it. All of a sudden, you're going to feel a card in your hand. Your attention's just going to be drawn to it. It's not logical, but you just feel it. Now you lay that card down, and that is your card. That card is going to answer your question. That card is going to show you your energy. Spend time with that one card and see what it tells you. If you feel adventurous, do it a few more times. But if you're just starting, I really feel that 1 or 2 cards is going to be the most helpful for you, your questions and your answers. So now we have these cards on the table. You got your question answered, or you're answering for somebody else. Now what? Okay. So I guess this would be the point where you would want to take the book, look in the definitions, and then like piece together a story based on what you get in the book. You know? That's when you go and you watch that video of, learn tarot cards. And it's just all those definitions that I guess you're supposed to memorize like this. Like I said, I do have that video to clarify, to help you. But here's how I'm going to teach you how to learn tarot. The definitions are important, okay? But so is your intuition. So are your eyes and your feelings. You ever walk outside, you look up at the sky, and you see something called weather? Sometimes it's rainy, sometimes it's cloudy, sometimes it's day, sometimes it's night. I'm assuming that you're a normal human being who can feel things from the weather. Maybe the rain makes you sad. Maybe the rain makes you feel cozy. Maybe the sun makes you happy. Look at the weather in the cards that you draw. That's going to give you an emotion. Pay attention to the water. Pay attention to the clouds. Pay attention to the sky. Pay attention to the landscapes. Here we see the water is by some rocks. We see a mountain. We see something very far away. We see a pretty clear sky. Here I see a very placid water. I see lilies. I see flowers. I see water flowing like a waterfall, like a fountain. Here things are cloudy, but the sky is very blue. Here the moon is out. The water in the back is wavy, like an ocean crashing, yet it's rippling here. Just paying attention to the weather in the card that you draw is going to give you an emotion, give you an idea. When I go to the ocean or to the lake and the waves are crashing and it's gray outside, I feel that my emotions are stirred. It's very emotional. But when it's sunny, when the water's calm, I feel clear-minded. I feel optimistic. Everything in the images of the tarot is intentional. It's intentional for you. When you look at these cards and you notice these little details in the landscapes, in the weather, in the colors, let that speak to you, an emotion and a feeling. You don't need to know the definitions to understand how the card feels. Let's take a look at this card. Quite frankly, the water makes me feel happy and calm. This cup is reminding me of a fountain, and fountains make me feel good. I like them. We can also see that there's a hand reaching out, right? So imagine you're walking down the street and somebody reaches out their hand towards you. Well, usually we understand, human body language. Somebody reaching out their hand or somebody reaching out towards you with something is them offering you something. If I have, let's see, a lighter. I use it for my candles. If I'm doing this with my lighter, it looks like I'm handing it to you, right? It's very different than if I cup my hands and hand them out like this. Then it looks like I'm asking for something. This is a hand holding something out. This likely signifies an offer. So then look at what's in the hand. It's a cup. Things are flowing. It's something good. We can feel that if we just sit with the card and take a moment. And that's all you got to do. So when asking your question, when asking about that energy, and you get this card, it makes me feel like something good is coming towards me. That's it. Then go look up the definition. Then go find out, what the collective thinks about the card. But tarot can be a tool just for you, something very personal just for you, to just take a card and look at it and just see what it makes you feel. When you're doing this is called intuitive tarot. When you're doing this, there is no right or wrong answer, because there's no right or wrong way to feel about something. That's a very subjective experience. If the definition conflicts with what you felt, I dare say, go with what you felt. And I'm not saying don't learn definitions. I'm not saying that. You should, especially if you get serious about tarot. Learn what the collective feels and thinks about the card, because the collective, is going to empower the card with a certain energy that you can pick up on if you know about that card's symbolism and stuff like that. But you can also switch gears into a different channel, and that's your personal channel for how the cards speak to you. Here I see a wheel. It's the first thing I notice. Wheels go around, right? So knowing that everything's so metaphorical in tarot, we can think about cycles, we can think about turning, maybe even forward movement. You would look at the things around the wheel. There's a little devil, there's winged animals, there's a snake. How do those things make you feel? What stuck out to you first? And then go into other things. The color of the sky is blue, but there's clouds. Now, in English, we say that I feel cloudy sometimes. If I say, I feel cloudy today, what does it mean? Well, it means that you're not really thinking so clearly. Clear sky, thinking clearly. Cloudy sky, thinking kind of clouded. So this is in between, And it's very intentional in tarot, these things. The moon. Makes me think of things like lunatic. Luna being a root word for moon, or lunacy. And these are all things with kind of negative connotations. We say lunacy, we say a lunatic, but it's very mental, it's very emotional. And usually this is, about delusions and not seeing things clearly. Because the moon is like a light at night, it's almost contradictory. So when this comes up for you, maybe something's not clear. Maybe something's highly emotional. Maybe someone's a little delusional about something and needs to think straight. The water in the background makes me feel like emotions are high, because that's how oceans make me feel. For some people, you might look straight at the dogs. Maybe that will give you some kind of intuitive hit. Maybe you'll look at this crab scorpion guy. Maybe that will give you some kind of intuitive hit. Reading tarot intuitively is not going to be the easiest thing. You may get hyped up and then go do your reading and get very confused. Which is why I recommended in the beginning, work with one card. One card, if you have a good question, if you're able to frame your question in a good way for tarot, one card is going to tell you what you need. Two cards, really going to tell you what you need. Three or more, if you're beginning, maybe a bit too much. But just working with those one or two cards and letting things come to you, that is a beautiful meditative act. And it's very healing as well, because it's allowing you to dive deep into your own energies, connect with your own intuition, trust yourself, and help yourself. Person blindfolded, all right? If you're blindfolded, man, you're not going to see anything. Their hands tied behind their back, okay? Movement, limited, claustrophobia, swords around them, feeling like any little move is going to hurt. Barefoot, rocky ground, okay? Far from home, the home in the background. You don't even need to know that this is the Eight of Swords. There's no title, there's nothing here. You don't need to know that it's the Eight of Swords. You don't need to know what the Eight of Swords means. Just look at what the card is saying. Take your time and feel the cards, my friend. This is intuitive tarot. This is all you need to know. The next most important thing for intuitive tarot, once you start to get a hang and once you start to practice reading cards like this, you want to look at card pairings. Now, just like how you look at a single card and the action in that single card is going to tell you information, when you lay down multiple cards, you want to look at how they interact together. Did you ever read a comic book? You know how each frame is separate, but there's also action going through each frame, and sometimes the frames interact with each other? Laying down tarot in this way, with my method, the intuitive method, is just like that. These are all different frames of one story. and they will interact with each other. This person with the sword, paying attention to the cloudiness, to the sky, it's blue, the birds, the sword, paying attention to all of that, his wind, his hair blowing in the wind, the landscape, right? Something about how does it make you feel? It makes me feel like on a windy day when I'm walking, the wind's blowing, and I feel like determined, especially that stance. I just feel determined to do something, right? And that's what that's giving me. But this person is facing into this frame. This is very calm. Could be golden hour with that gold in the background. This person looks well-to-do. The infinity above their head reminds me of halos, connections to divinity. I see a lush landscape. Now, looking at this, I feel very good. I feel that, being friends with a lion, like how badass is that? This is a very good card that makes me feel good with the energy that it gives me. Makes me feel strong without giving away what the card is. It's strength, by the way. This person's very interested in this person. This person's very interested in this scene. But then way over here, there's a lot of fighting. A lot of negativity. Maybe they're playing. Maybe some of you don't see it as negative. Maybe they're just having a game. To me, it looks a little negative. But the person who looks most well off, they're not participating in this scene. They're not even looking at it. What does that tell me about my question or about the energy that I'm asking about? Is it better to dive into the drama? Or should I tend to my own things that work for me? And why is there somebody showing up here interested over there? In these cases, you'd want to clarify, who's this person? Right? It is a person, right? I feel like it's some person who's interested, who's about to walk in on my stuff. Because I'm really identifying as this card. I'm feeling like that's my energy showing up in the tarot. Why? Because I just feel it. I just feel connected to it. I feel like that's me. I feel like it's answering my hypothetical question. And that comes to me as it can come to you. The more that you're open to these messages just coming to you like that, the more they're going to come. So then I would want to clarify. Clarify this person's intentions. All right? I'm shuffling my deck, just waiting till it feels right. Oh, this card feels right. This person's intentions. Well, balance. This person wants to bring me some kind of balance in my life. So then I would think maybe I'm going to meet someone. Maybe someone's going to come into my life pretty soon. And this person's going to come with the energy of balance. Boom. You just told the future. Easy and fun. And also very helpful. When you're telling the future, you want to look at how to navigate into that person's best future. These are two minor arcana here, right? So these are just daily circumstances, as is this. This is a major arcana. So this is something bigger, which is probably why the energy resonated more strongly with me, because the major arcana have a deeper energy. There's also the 12 zodiac signs in tarot. And there's 12 cards, all in the major arcana, that resonate with one of those zodiac signs as energy. This is strength. It also represents the energy of a Leo. I'm a Leo, which is another reason why this card kind of spoke to me. You know what I mean? So the more that you get to know tarot, especially on a deeper level, which my videos and my masterclass will show you, the more you're going to have even these crazy connections. You'll just be crazy with the cards. You'll be crazy good. And it's kind of like that. I'm always looking at, when I'm reading, not only the individual cards and what speaks to me from the cards, but also how they interplay. One day, depending on the question or who I'm reading for, the lion might pop out to me, and that will say something. Another day, I literally might just notice this little mountain in the background, and that will tell me everything I need to know. Being open to the cards, being flexible and different in interpretation when you read is really helpful. Now, that being said, I understand the collective definitions and how I feel about most cards too. So very often, especially because I read habitually on YouTube, most of the cards come with very standard energies that I'm able to interact with. But for example, if I'm sitting down with another person or myself and I'm really taking my time, that's when I'll start maybe looking at the cards quite differently. It just depends how they want to speak to me and also what I'm doing with the cards. I have an entire video on card reversals that you can check out, as well as card pairings, which are what we're talking about right now. But I'd like to tell you a little bit about reversals in a quick and concise way to read them intuitively. The first thing is that all cards have the energy of the positive, the negative, the opposite within the card. It just depends how the card wants to speak to you at that time. So maybe a very positive energy of a certain card may pop out, or maybe you might read something kind of negative, kind of like here. One day it might look like they're playing. One day it might look like they're actually fighting, right? That's the positive and negative polarity of the card speaking to you intuitively. Now, a reversal would usually tell somebody the opposite of a card. So, bad energy, good energy, good energy, bad energy, opposites, reversals. But reversals can tell you a lot more than just the opposite meaning of a card. Reversals can show you the card. Reversals can show you that a card's energy might actually be blocked. So a reversal as a blockage might look like this person could be calm, this person could be chill, this person could be in a state of strength, but it's coming up reverse, so it's blocked. It could be an excess or a negative, where this person's humble. Maybe now they're controlled by ego. And now that their direction is totally different, now this person's facing them, but they're facing them with a kind of a negative energy. So how does that change the entire scene? How does that change your interpretation? Reversals and allowing reversals into a deck is also going to change how the cards interplay. So you're opening up your deck to even more kinds of interactions. I'm not going to tell you the right or wrong way to read reversals. I think readers that tell you what is right and what is wrong don't truly understand tarot, because tarot are very flexible. You don't need to read with reversals. The cards can speak to you in that energy regardless, if you're open to it. But if you choose to have reversals, realize that it can mean blocked energy, it can mean negative energy, it can mean a lot of different things. And I would like to say that if you're going to take that step to use reversals in a reading, look up a little bit what other people say and see what vibes with you, because many different readers are going to say many different things about reversals. Personally, when I use the deck with them, I can see it as an opposite. I can see it as a block. I can even see it just came up in reverse, only to show me that the energy in this card is more directed towards this person over here. So how do you know? You got to feel it. You got to feel how you vibe with reversals and feel how you're going to read that reversal when it comes up, taking into consideration its placement and its spread. Do I recommend reversals if you're beginning? No. It's not necessary. And you're going to have a lot to work with as you start to begin tarot anyways. I would not complicate it with reversals. Wait till later when you're comfortable with the cards, then see how reversals speak to you and see if you like it. Most of the time I don't use it, but I do have some decks that are reversed that I'll pull out and I'll read with reversals. I'm fine with either. It's honestly just kind of like different styles of reading. So should you use a spread? Like I said, I like to think of a question. The better stated the question, the better the energy is going to be to read in tarot, right? And then I just read the card. And then if I want to pull a couple cards instead, I just look at how that scene is playing out and what it wants to say to me. If you want to use a spread, look up the Celtic Cross, look up a spread, and just put it down. What makes spreads good, especially if you're beginning tarot, is that there's no mystery in the context of the card. Now, you're going to lose the interplay of how the cards are communicating with each other, because that's something that's based off my style and just putting cards down. But the spread is going to tell you very specifically what is what. For example, you can use this spread right now if you want. 3-card spread. My past, my present, my future. So it takes the guesswork out of it. This energy represents your past. This energy represents your present. This energy represents my future. In all honesty, that's kind of lame. I think it's kind of boring and it's cool to fortune tell. But how does it help you? Remember, it's a tool for healing. It's a tool for learning. What if we did it this way? Dear Tarot, what do I still need to know about my past that would help me? What's the best energy I could have in my future? What do I need to do now to make sure that I get there? Now that is a well-framed question for tarot. And that's going to be some straight up fire advice for you. It's all about how you ask. You can take some time to kind of create your own spreads. It's kind of fun. Some are going to work, some are not. You can look up other readers' spreads or look up spreads on like Google image search. Some people, some readers, some styles as you develop yours. Because I mean, your style is going to be different from mine once you actually get comfortable with the cards. Don't be stiff with tarot. You know, people that have stiff rules with tarot who literally will come and be like, that's wrong. Tarot's not supposed to be like that. No, this card doesn't mean that. No. Okay, then you're not reading intuitively, because intuitive tarot is flexible. Then it means different things for different people, right? Just have fun with it. As long as the tarot are helping you and showing you good stuff, then you're using it correctly. This was just a quick overview to like get you into just having the confidence or having the knowledge. Just pick up that deck and draw your card and have fun with it and learn and read. I hope you're able to do that now. Pretty sure you are. If you want to go into the topics that I discussed, to say what I have to teach, my masterclass is ready for you. All right. I put a lot of work into that masterclass and a lot of thought into that masterclass. I would recommend it if you're really serious about using tarot to change your life. So it'll be there for you if you want it. You could preview the masterclass below by looking at all the different videos that I listed in the description box and the topics of those videos. Feel free to come whenever you want. I'd be very excited and very grateful if you did, because I know that it's something that can really change people's lives. And if we're parting ways here, I hope to see you again. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. My channel is mostly tarot card readings for zodiac signs. So if you've never seen my channel before, that's what it's going to be. But you can go check out me doing a reading, because I just kind of taught you tarot. So maybe it'd be kind of cool. All right. I wish you the best, my friend. And thank you so much for coming to learn tarot with me.